Hey.
All right. The podcast is back. Let everyone know right away there's not going to be a podcast next week because I'm going to be in Alabama. I'm remembering I just never told anyone right now. So next week we're not doing a podcast. And the first week of December we won't be either because I'll be in Alabama again. I am helping doing work training at our new facility down there. So yeah. All right, so let's start off with our weeks here. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, last week was
A week?
not to get political, but it was that was a week. But
It was
at
a week
least
that happened, Michael.
yes, it was a week that happened. But at least I ended on a high note. Friday night, I saw the new horror film with Hugh Grant, Heretic. Very good. And, of course, we won't talk spoilers, but Arcane is back. The first 3 episodes came out on Saturday, and they are amazing.
So good. So good.
Yes. Yes, it is. Bree, what's up? Hey, I'm Brian.
Oh, so the last 24 hours have been very interesting for me. Personally, found out a writing class that I was looking to take. I got in. I'm starting that on Sundays for like the next month or two. The Cowboys are terrible, and that's always a good thing for America.
Like that changes.
Oh no, but they're
water's in fact still wet.
But there was like a special kind of just terrible, and the fact it was at AT&T Stadium, and I'm an Eagles fan, that just it warms my heart, in just countless ways. And busy with work, personal and professional, and I was doing schoolwork at I guess technically you call it schoolwork at like 2:30 a.m. because I was just that wired. So yeah, that was me the last 24 hours. The last week has just been very weird vibes.
Oh, I get you there. Kiona, how was your week, buddy?
Well, last week was the crappiest week that ever crapped. I don't know, man. I feel like all my energy is sapped. I got nothing. Except for Arcane being great. Other than that.
Arcane just coming to save us, coming at the 11th hour assist.
Yeah. Heavy as a freight train, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
They typically are. All right. So I had a pretty eventful week. I went to Twin Cities Con this past week. I got to break out my Virgil cosplay for the first time. So that was pretty sick. Ended up doing well. Wig was tight, but that's what happens when I have a ginormous fucking head. So that's not something I'm going to get around. Let's see, got to break out my new wig for my Nero cosplay, so that was nice. I got the cosplay The Chosen from Smosh, and like 6 people recognized me, but they were more excited than the like 100 people that recognized my other cosplay, so that was cool. Yeah, I normally don't get a lot of art from these cons anymore, but I have to show that there was a stand that was selling prints, and my buddy said there's one there that I have to pick up, and just gonna back up a little.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
From one of my favorite moments when they go and when the Mugan invade the island, or I should say those 2 pirates that stole gum and invade the island that Yoko is teaching on, and she just manhandles them and literally gives them a school lesson while destroying them in front of her students. Oh, it's the shit. But not only that, my buddy who was at the con spotted this and had to get it for me, and he pissed himself laughing, and he's like, I know my friend's gonna like it.
Oh, that is perfect.
They had shirts, but I didn't get there in time. Otherwise, I would own one. Okay.
He's so chonky. We while committing genocide.
He's all spinal cord. Not often can you describe someone as all spinal cord. But all right, let's get into the topics. Dear Jesus. Okay, Mike, buy or sell the rumor that Daisy Ridley's Rey is going to be positioned as the Obi-Wan of a new Star Wars trilogy.
Can I buy half of it or put down like
We're gonna get to the other part later, so let's leave that and the other subject because that's not a quick buy or sell.
as far as this tidbit, I mean, yeah, I'll buy. Yeah, I guess I'll buy it.
Brie.
Well, that seemed very apprehensive. Honestly, I don't hate Star Wars, but I also like don't care. I feel like anyone who's like getting like too emotional about it, whether you're camp, you know, we're retroactively going to act like the prequels were all good. I mean,
No,
they were. I
no.
mean, they were definitely more cohesive than the sequel trilogy. I will give you that. But no, because we're not turning back time and act like y'all ain't the reason why George Lucas wanted to sell Star Wars. So you know what, you get what you get. So honestly, if they could just get
What's up, Ghost?
Hey, Ghost. I mean, honestly, if they could just get like something of substance, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It just, I mean, my whole thing with the sequel trilogy is there's like good parts of it. I mean, there's even parts of, you know, Rise of Skywalker that I unironically like. It's just, it's a whole lot of just kind of nothing. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like, oh, God, you know, just cursing the name of like Kathleen Kennedy because I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. So why not? I mean, if they can do something with her that's actually like super like interesting, then yeah, I mean, I guess I buy it.
Brian, I do not know what you mean by that comment. Because that kind of contradicts itself the more I'm reading it, bud.
No,
Kiona, buy or sell?
It's a tough one for me. I actually like I like Rey as a character. I think that they mishandled her whole backstory thing though in Rise of Skywalker. I feel like I mean, I think that like at this point you kind of want to distance yourself maybe a little bit. Maybe just go into the future and just like start fresh or something. I would like to see them go into the future. I know that their thing is going into the past and doing, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I were to say anything about this, I would be like kind of a sell because I feel like at this point, it's gonna affect the fandom in a very negative way.
I mean, you mean beyond rock bottom?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's, you know, it sucks though because I like I said, I don't hate the character.
No, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I like about the sequel trilogy, but
yeah,
you could definitely tell that there was no like plan,
no
like
cohesion.
Yeah, no, I mean, just too many cooks, like just perfect textbook example of like too many cooks. And
pick a vision and stick to it, you know.
And,
like,
and then I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about the Acolyte or whatever, but it was at least them trying to move on from the Skywalkers.
True.
And then that didn't happen. And then I just feel like we're just kind of like chasing our tail here, that Star Wars really isn't going to get any better or really even just marginally worse. I would say plateau until they get rid of the Skywalkers.
All right. Kiona, buy or sell the first look at live action Stitch?
Ooh, I did not see it. Hold on. Somebody else can take it, and then I'll give you my buy or sell.
Mike, go ahead.
I buy it. It doesn't look as bad as other people have said. If anything, this is probably one of the better live action translations that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Bree?
I know Sanders is back to voice Stitch, so I assume he's still involved in like some way. But I'm like, the whole thing of the live action things, I mean, it's just getting old. I mean, who knows? Maybe this will be different, but I don't know. It's if it's going to hit that same, honestly, like kind of borderline, like look at like, oh, you know, views of like, you know, yes, tourism and how it affects Native Hawaiians. But now that Disney has a resort in Hawaii, I'm not sure if they're actually going to cover that.
Oh.
So yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think it'll be fine. I mean, it looks like Stitch. I mean, it literally looks like the old animatronic that was at you know, that has since been like descanned over at Disney World. I mean, it looks like a Stitch. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, compared to the animation, yeah, it's definitely doesn't have like the same level of charm, but it's looks like Stitch. So I'm like, I can't really be that upset about it.
Mm-hmm. Kiana?
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with it. It looks all right, about as all right as they can make it. So I'm very enthused, as you can tell.
I can tell. Mike, buy or sell that Zendaya and Anne Hathaway have been cast in Christopher Nolan's next film alongside Tom Holland and Matt Damon.
That's a buy. Anytime Christopher Nolan is casting a movie, pretty much it's always going to be a buy. And I'm very much looking forward to the next round of casting, whenever that is.
Don't forget Lupita. I didn't know Lupita got cast in it.
About that, she was mentioned in the original Deadline article, but then it turned out that was a mistake, and she wasn't in it. It's very weird.
Okay, I was gonna say that didn't. I doesn't say that. When I read the article, they did not mention her whatsoever. But okay, Kiona.
Oh yeah, I agree with Mike. That's a definite buy. That's a good cast.
All right. Excuse me, Bree.
I mean, there's literally nothing to complain about this. I mean, this sounds awesome. Like, bye.
I would agree. All right. Bree, buy or sell that Macaulay Culkin has been officially cast in Fallout Season 2. He will play a crazy genius type character.
Honestly, the trajectory of Macaulay Culkin the last few years has been hilarious, and honestly, good for him. This seems like such a perfect him role.
It does. Mike?
I buy. Still need to watch the first season of Fallout, but I don't know. Just something about this is just kind of perfect for him.
That is true. Kiona?
I buy that, definitely. Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see him play that kind of a role.
I agree. I'm just excited to see him in something, period. I think that he should do a Home Alone movie where he's the parent at some point.
Kevin Jr.
Point. I always surprise or remind him when that is his greatest career accomplishment. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh my God.
That woman is gorgeous. Yep. So, dear God, I don't know how somehow she became even more gorgeous being in a video game, but in The Quarry, she looks wonderful. All right. And the last one is Kiona, buy or sell that they are making a new Fear Street movie for Netflix.
What I saw of the other Fear Street movies, I thought were pretty good. So, I mean, it was okay. You know, it was okay to pretty decent. So I'll buy it. Sure. Why the hell not?
Mike?
Yeah, I buy this. I also confess I haven't seen the first Fear Street trilogy. That's something I gotta cross off the list.
Nice. Bree?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I have to confess, Mike, I haven't really sat down to watch it either, and I feel like I should. That's been on like my list of like things I should probably watch whenever I get 5 minutes, but the 5 minutes haven't really come up yet. So,
Oh, I hear you on that. I really haven't either. Okay, now we are on to the main topics for gaming. All right, Sony Interactive sells the Death Stranding IP to Kojima Productions. Kojima Productions has announced that the IP for this work will belong to the studio, so they will continue to connect to more fans around the world in various forms of entertainment. It'll be interesting to see if they get bigger numbers because it's on an Xbox. Because they didn't say it was going to Game Pass.
Nope. It did launch on Xbox, correct?
No. It's a PlayStation and PC exclusive.
well, actually, I think at this point, I think the remastered is also for like the 5 people that actually game on a Mac. It's on there too.
Death Stranding?
Yeah. I think that and like RA Evil 8, like literally how Apple came is so weird. It's like they get it like 2 years after everyone else. Like I'm like 90% sure it's on Mac.
Oh, I get that. I'm asking about the Death Stranding. Oh, you mean the director's cut?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say the remaster is something different, but okay, got it.
No, that's what I meant. Sorry, that's just the exhaustion.
I was confused. Okay. Hype for The Last of Us Season 2. I am as well. That looks really good. All right. Yeah, didn't have a whole lot on that. The big one that came up, Amazon and MGM are developing a Mass Effect live action series based on the popular video game series. It will be written and executive produced by Fast and Furious franchise vet Daniel Casey.
Yay.
I'm excited that the show is happening.
Yeah, me
super
too.
excited that the guy who's sending cars into space is handling the Mass Effect series.
Yeah.
Give me a second while I look up some of his other credits, just so this news doesn't sound too alarming.
Mike, when his biggest credit is shooting cars into space at this point, I think they would have picked another thing to shoot ahead of that if he had a good one.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Gonna be really honest with you.
I mean, it could be like a Chernobyl like situation, but I doubt it.
You want to go further into the Chernobyl situation because you're not helping me at all by mentioning that.
Craig Manson, because he's written like some shit. I'm pretty sure he wrote The Hangover Part 2.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, there's always a chance that he could have something, he could do a really good job. Maybe this will just be like his Picasso, his masterpiece. Even I had a hard time believing that as it was coming out of my mouth. Anyway,
it could be a Jackson Pollock.
It could be a Jackson Pollock. Maybe it will be. Maybe that's what we need.
And not in my Mass Effect. I don't need a Jackson Pollock.
Just
Mass
throw
Effect.
everything against the wall.
That's what everyone said happened with 3, which when it didn't, I don't need that for the whole series. Gonna be really honest.
Well, come on, it's gotta at least be better than that Halo show.
You say that, but now we're having the guy who sends cars into space. What happened
cars
with
in space,
Halo?
I would prefer that compared to Halo.
Fiona, in Halo, we had cars in space. They literally had Chevy Tahoe in the backgrounds of shots.
Well, they had it on a planet. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this series, I will be whelmed.
And
Just
that's not how you should feel about the chance at something, which, not to sound presumptuous, with the subject matter like Mass Effect, you can have your next Stargate or whatever level of show that people lose their fucking minds over and run for 10 years.
Yeah.
There's a
What are the
reason why
odds
this
of
is
that
taken
happening?
forever.
In today's Hollywood, in today's system, what are the odds of that happening, that this is going to be good? Any good whatsoever?
When you have stuff done like Last of Us, it can be good. The crazy thing is you have to care.
I know. I feel like
Stuff
for
can happen.
I feel like for every Arcane, Last of Us, and I guess to an extent Fallout, there's just a lot of flaming hot garbage.
Because one is for a paycheck and one is for a paycheck and giving a shit. That's what I'm getting at when I don't want the guy whose biggest credit is, again, shooting cars into space.
No, I get you. I'm right there with you. I don't think it's... I don't know. As soon as I heard that it was that guy, I was like, Jesus, oh boy.
But I'm excited because I wanted a series about it for the longest time. And now because if they would have done a movie, I wouldn't even watch it, because you cannot make a Mass Effect movie.
You can't do it in a movie, for sure.
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
It would literally take a trilogy before you got off the Citadel.
God damn it.
It rhymes with cars in space, Umbreon. Did you find anything? Did you find anything worth mentioning, Mike?
There was a film that he wrote in 2018 called Kin. Like a
Kin. I heard of that.
It's like a sci-fi coming of age movie.
No, and Umbreon, that was the other thing I was going to bring up. I don't need the family aspect of Mass Effect handled in the way it is in Fast and Furious, because if it is, I will throw up at the screen multiple times.
You're saying they're not going to have their Olive Garden moment?
No, they are not. God, the one golden goose that is left that cannot afford to be fucked up is Mass Effect. You cannot afford to fuck this up. Like, Amazon is a really good fucking track record with all their shows. But God, you cannot afford to fuck that up.
Now, if this was done by, say, the people who worked on The Expanse, then we'd be having a different conversation.
I'd do anything. Like, get someone that has experience running shows that deal with sci-fi. Give or take, Fast and Furious started turning into fucking sci-fi toward the end of there, but
yeah.
No.
God damn it! No, God,
no,
go away,
no. Even jokingly, no. That's not something I even need to think about. The stupidity of landing in that show. All right. Anyways, yeah, it's just, I don't know who they're going to cast for what, but someone fan casted it a while back, and I need to see it happen. If and when this happens, I need to have Danielle Melchior as Tally.
Ooh.
See that?
It's borderlining perfect casting. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Man, I don't know. I would say that I'm holding on to hope, but last week taught me not to do that.
You know what, Kiana? Here's the thing. If you have like zero expectations for anything, you can never get hurt.
That's a lie. I bet Kiona had zero expectations for Halo. I bet he still got hurt.
No, I held on to some hope for that, and that didn't work out.
You are better than me then. The second I saw him slam
at the beginning, I had some hope.
Those trailers, I didn't. The amount of open-headed Master Chief I saw, not happening.
Yeah.
The second that I saw it,
well, you don't like Master Cheeks?
No, I don't like Master Chief's face.
Jesus Christ.
I do not need a show concentrated on not keeping that helmet on his fucking head.
Right? Oh, but we can't show emotion or expressiveness with the helmet on. Fuck off.
He
Fucking
doesn't.
producers.
It's fucking Master Chief. He doesn't show goddamn emotions behind his helmet.
And here's like the goddamn thing too. Like Pedro Pascal, like most of the time, isn't even in the fucking armor. It's just him doing a voiceover, and that show works.
Yes.
Yeah, because they understood the fact that the person is the armor and not fucking face.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. Halo didn't realize that because my face needs to be on the fucking poster.
And also get an actor who has a voice that actually has some character to it. Or just like, get Steve Downs to do the voice, for God's sake.
You didn't feel like having a character that sounded like he was going to bag your groceries being Master Chief? Like, what do you... You had a problem? You had a problem with that?
Oh, yeah.
The guy who was like checking you in at Planet Fitness, you were upset that was the guy that was fucking Master Chief? Like, oh my God.
I still can't believe that it was a real show. Like, it just feels like a fever dream. Not so much as bad, but just... a lot of like nothingness. Like it just came.
No, it was
and
bad.
Then it just left.
There was no.
I believe you.
It was bad. there was a lot of things, and that was the problem. If it would have had nothing, it'd have been better. You had Master Chief sleep with a Covenant spy. Master Chief does not care about fucking
a human Covenant spy, much less.
Jeez. The second they went, I know how we can do this plot. It'll be a human Covenant spy, and Master Chief will fuck her, and no one in the room said anything. At all.
I mean, like, look, he could have at least banged Cortana.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know how it would work.
That would have been preferable.
We don't need a motherfucking fetish in the show. That I don't feel that would have gotten much better. Honest with you.
Right, but it would have been like a Ryan Murphy production level of hot mess, so at least it would have been interesting.
It was already a hot mess. We didn't need anything else. You did not watch it. That show was fucking god awful.
It was one of the. Oh,
that was why I didn't watch it. I've heard too many people saying.
I saw clips of it, but maybe my skew of awful is like worse. Like my awful is like Manos Hands of Fate. So
no, my skew of awful is it can be awful, and then there's terrible, and then there's I can still. Here's the thing: you can have terrible and still enjoy it. I've watched Velocipaster and smiled. When it's terrible and not enjoyable, that's worse than an actual bad movie. Manos of Fate didn't have a fucking budget. You could have made 9 billion Manos of Fate with the budget of one Halo episode. That's the difference.
I love Manos. You know what? We really need to like have like a clip of like Manos or like Velocipaster for like a reaction clip we can just ping in, because I feel like it would just be applicable to like so many situations.
No, and the one I would have is VX Car on Fire. Does anyone know what that is?
I think I do.
There's a shot where he gets dropped off at Pasture College, not seminary, Pasture College. And then you hear parents at a car, and then boom, and then it turns around and the car is gone. And in text, it says VX Car on Fire. Sorry, VFX Car on Fire. I don't think I have laughed out of nowhere that hard in my entire fucking life.
We just need to just clip it there and just use it as an intro for something, because no one will care if we use it.
It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. All right. Will you enjoy your food, Ghost? All right. So, NVIDIA game streaming hours on GeForce Now, instead of raising fees, they will be limiting the monthly limit will be 100 hours. This will also renaming priority performance and adding 1440p streaming.
We're doing you all a favor by limiting your access.
is like literally nothing, though.
100 hours a month.
I know.
If you play games for 10 hours a day, which some people do, you're done in 10 days.
10 days.
God, that company is so fucking cooked. Oh my god. The Game Awards are going to be so much fun next month.
Gaming in general is just my idea of a great time right now.
But they would even say it is the best of times.
Hey, man.
Not the other part. We don't talk about the other part.
Hey, man. I've heard that Veilguard is selling worse than Anthem right now.
Oof.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed.
Is that the game that came out that no one marketed and then it was just there?
No. Anthem was marketed a lot.
No, Veilguard.
No, Veilguard was marketed a lot.
Veilguard was marketed, yes.
Maybe too much. Because they saw the parts of the game they didn't want them to see, to the point of where when they wrote reviews, they told them to specifically not mention extremely pandering scenes that they did for DIE.
Jesus.
There's literal notes in the reviews to not mention a specific character's character mission so that people wouldn't be off-put about it. Kiona knows exactly what I'm talking about.
That just sounds like a whole bunch of yikes.
It is, because you can have those subjects, but it's preachy as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's not great. And the worst part is, it's preachy as shit about a transgender character. You know what's really bad? And what it's making people think when it's not true? It's making them think they're doing this because it's the first transgender character that's ever been in Dragon Age. You know what's wrong? They had a transgender character in shit. What was the last one?
Inquisition.
An Inquisition.
Yeah.
Do you know what they talk about them being transgender? They just kind of mention that they looked a little different, and then they fully go on, and you understand that they're there, and they don't say anything else. They don't make it a part of their personality. They just go forward, and you kind of put the dots together after your first conversation. There is a 20 to 30 minute scene twice preaching at you about how you're an inconsiderate prick. And then it is put into every dialogue option this character has about how you're an inconsiderate prick.
Like, I would get if it was just the one, but all of them?
And also, in the game, you cannot get certain dialogue options if you do not make your character transgender. You're literally locked out of dialogue options if you choose a gender.
That kind of seems not what should be happening. I feel, because isn't that kind of defeat like the whole point? I mean, if it's trans, shouldn't you be able to choose your own dialogue? I kind of feel like there's a little mixed messaging here.
It is a little bit of mixed messaging.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mixed messaging, and they didn't want, and then when you have to specifically put in notes for reviews to not put that in your review for the sake of people not seeing it so that they buy it, it's not good. That means they know that they made it too preachy. Which again, Inquisition had a trans character. It's a character that people genuinely love. It's just a cool person to meet with the Iron Bull, and every now and then they make a joke with blah, 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 and she goes along with it and goes, brah, brah, whatever. And then it's like a frat party follower. It's a great time. They don't actively say, you're a shitty person. Stop being a shitty person. But I was just kind to them. Yeah, but in your mind, I know you're a shitty person.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it kind of honestly...
It's not good.
At least from like what I'm hearing of this. I mean, obviously I haven't played yet. It's kind of coming off as unintentionally transphobic.
It kind of does, because you know what this turns into? You avoid all of this if you do not do that character's quest line. That's their entire quest line. Is just
this one
that.
of the Is this one of the companion characters?
Yes. The
Okay.
Chennari.
Okay.
So it's going to make them go, I don't want the transgender person on my team because I'm just going to get bitched at the entire time.
That is, I don't even.
Which is not what you should do if you're trying to be inclusive.
No.
Exactly.
And you know what they have with all the other genders and all the other things? They don't make it a part of their storylines, and people don't get upset because they're not getting preached at the whole time. Again, these things are okay to have in there. Do not make that the main part of the person's personality. That's what gets people irritated.
It's infantile writing is what it is.
That is a problem too. The writing in this game is genuinely fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Genuinely fucking terrible.
And I heard it's like your character, even when you choose like a more biting response to the other characters, it's like you don't even get that. It's just a more like everything is so blasé, middle of the road, whatever.
Yeah. And do you want to know what this is? I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm one of the like 5 people that played Forspoken past the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where all the bad clips are from.
Yeah.
These are the lines that everyone thinks the entirety of Forspoken is like. Those lines that everyone took and bashed Forspoken into obscurity with are in the first 5 minutes, and then you don't get them for the rest of the 70 hours of the game.
Yeah.
And then people were mad when a character who is a millennial spoke like a millennial.
People will
and is in a situation where they were just being run down by people trying to shoot her in her apartment to then killing a dragon. And then when she was shocked that she was killing a dragon, they went, I don't fucking understand what this writing is. How is she shocked by this? I just don't get it because no one's showing me context that she was just living homeless in an apartment 20 minutes ago. Why is she upset and shocked? This is dumb writing, even though I'm not going to look into why she's saying these things. Fucking stupid. It's wonderful, Umbreon. The combat and all the spells are fucking amazing, and the boss battles are outrageous. The game is amazing, and the storyline in it is top-notch. But everyone bashed it because they let reviewers do this thing that they didn't do, where they didn't go, hey, don't show these 5 minutes that people aren't going to like. They went, no, if people get 10 minutes into the game, they'll actually fucking like it. They went, nah, this reviewer showed me the same 6 clips 700 times, so fuck that game. I won't try the other 70 hours of it. Good Lord. Anyway, so moving on from that. Take-Two has sold its private division publishing label to an undisclosed buyer.
Undisclosed buyer.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Or why Take-Two would sell its publishing branch of their own.
Well, the private division one, right? Is that?
Yeah.
That's like their more mid-tier label, I think. It's like Scars Above and those types of games were like under private division, I think.
I believe so.
I mean, to me, undisclosed buyer translates to hedge fund or capital group.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not sure. But all right. So Don't Nod, the former makers of Life is Strange and now most recently Ghosts of New Eden, you know, just like we had with Annapurna recently, Don't Nod developers will go on strike this Friday in response to layoffs.
Good.
Don't Nod was just previously blowing up, publishing a bunch of games, making their own games, and being on a real freaking hot streak. And they were laying people off.
Gaming makes me exhausted.
I just don't get it. They were doing really well. And they went from a studio that, like, I watched a making of Life is Strange recently, because I was going through it as I've been playing Double Exposure before I went to the con. And like, they made Life is Strange on like 5 cents until they were given money, which was about $20, from Square Enix and made a lot out of it. And now it's become a whole series that now they don't even have anymore and is being handled really well by Deck 9. And now they're laying people off. I do miss Chloe, but we got 2 games with her, and I'm going to be honest, they're doing really good making new games. Being back with Max is awesome. I need to get back into that fucking cliffhanger I left off on. Dear God. But yeah, I don't know why they're doing layoffs, but I forgot about the ending of Life is Strange. I do like the new one. Gotcha. Yeah, they've been doing really well. Before the Storm, True Colors, and from what I played at Double Exposure are all really freaking good. The writing and I've only played through episode 2. Ghost, so don't say anything else. I'll be finishing the game on stream this week. But you are correct. Amanda is fucking adorable. Amanda is a bartender that you flirt with Max, and she is fucking adorable. She is just the best. Like, it's not a secret. It's in the game, a character dies. A lot of the you haven't finished episode 1, nice. So you've seen the trailers, right, Ghost? You know what the main draw of the game is before I spoil the shit out of it because you've only played episode 1. Ghost, I know what to. Okay, all right. You know what the main hook of the game is. A character dies, and then Max gets I'm not going to go off, I'm just going to be honest. And then Max, like, kind of retreats back and, like, is really upset because it's a close friend of hers. And she, like, hasn't answered her phone for, like, a day. And then Amanda, this girl who've been, like, flirting with and get whatever to go and date, like, the one lesbian bartender that, like, everyone tries to hit on, but, like, it only works with you. And then after you don't answer anything, the last one she said is, fuck this, I'm coming over. And she, like, brings freshly made food with, like, homegrown freaking produce and, like, just chills with you for an hour and is, like, the best person ever. All of the side characters in Deck 9's games are written freaking perfectly, especially in the last 2 that they've done. I want to buy Forspoken, but I'll see if it's... I would imagine, because of the shitty response that it got, Umbreon, that you're probably going to get it on sale. But yeah, give Forspoken a chance after you get past the first... Oh, I gotta remember what the bosses are called in that, but the first boss. But yeah, okay. So, on to movie news. So, we're just going to talk about the trailers kind of in a big bunch. All right. First one, Captain America Brave New World. What did we think of the new trailer?
It's a good trailer. I think a lot of people are a little bit more apprehensive because this movie went through not just regular reshoots, but an entire gutting of the original version. So it'll probably be noticeable in the Umbreon brave new reshoots.
I don't know. I think that they got it well enough to where I think that with Captain America, they're going to not try and make it be a thing that you feel like it was half-assed put together. I think it was kind of just one thing I think they might have done is I can't think of the freaking character's name, but what's her name? Sabra. I think they might have limited what she was doing, or maybe not put her in costume when maybe she was originally.
Yeah, they had to do pretty much everything to scrub her comics origin and basically change the character as much as possible.
So I could see that being a decent amount of what's all going on. But yeah, I still think it's going to be okay. Yeah, they are. Yes, yeah. And I think that should be a main plot of the movie, if I'm going to be honest, is differentiating between Sam and Steve. And they like make that a good point in the trailer. And that's a line I really love. He's like,
Seems like that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the tone of the trailer. I think it looks good. It looks kind of like a political thriller again, like they're going back to that. So it seems pretty cool.
And that's what I feel what it should be. And I did have to... Okay, so I don't know if you know who the Escape Pod podcast is, but for the most part, it's okay to watch. One of the guys on there has some of the most horrendous takes known to man, and I will say that on my grandfather's grave. But there was one point that the other guy brought up that you'd know him. He does Comic-Con interviews. He always has this one specific Spider-Man hoodie on. That there's the poster is Sam holding up the shield and Red Hulk punching it full force.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I understand that thing absorbs vibrations to a degree. But all of a sudden he's like, all right, poster looks cool. We get that, right? He's like, yep, we all love it. Gonna love the movie. Probably going to be great. He goes, yep. He's like, Sam's dead. in that poster. And I'm like, all right. Now, if they take to the degree that if you have a good enough stance and he hits it directly on the button of the shield, that it absorbs the impact, it's okay. But I kind of get to where he was coming from, where if he's just holding him back with that shield and the Hulk punches in full force, that like Sam's arms are going to break in half. It's like, I kind of, but it's like, one thing I don't want them to do is have Sam take the super soldier serum.
Yeah, that's actually the one difference I hope they keep like firmly between Steve and Sam, is that Sam Wilson is just a guy who happens to have armor made of probably vibranium.
I'd imagine. And like, that's the thing that it's kind of how people get bitchy when anyone who's a Batman fan brings up that they get irritated when you lax on the no kill rule, because it actually means something. When Sam gets to be Captain America, everyone's like, he can't be Captain America because he's not a strong person. That is not what made Steve Captain America.
No.
The fucking super soldier serum is not why people call him Captain America.
I think people need to go back to the first Avenger, when before he even gets into the machine, the doctor's like, I want to be sure that before and after you take the serum, that you're still a good person.
Exactly. And that's one of my honest to God favorite Umbreon. I will agree. It's gone a bit overboard with that recently. Bad becomes worse. Good becomes great. That was the thing where he even became Captain America because he was a good man. Like, they even tried recreating it. That's how we got the fucking Hulk. You need to understand that and that's another thing what it boils down to, where he's like, well, he can't be Captain America if he's not strong. I'm like, point of Captain America was never the fact that he's strong. And you bring up the first Avenger, and then they're like, well, I still don't like it. I'm like, what's the other reason why you don't like it?
Go on, say it.
Do you want to say it? Come on, Bart. Say the thing. Come on.
Say the line, Bart.
Say the line, Bart. You're a racist. Ah! And it's like, why didn't they have Bucky do it? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because they didn't progress him in the plot enough for him to be fucking stable? In those two situations, who are you picking?
And also, Bucky's still kind of doing his whole, like, atonement deal, so, like, I'm not sure if mentally, like, he's in the right place to be dealing with this.
Exactly, and I'm going to be honest with you right now. We're going to talk about it in the next trailer. I kind of like what they're doing with Bucky more than what he would have been as Cap.
Same.
But, yeah, we'll go to the next trailer. Thunderbolts is genuinely looking awesome.
out of the two like movie trailers, this one's actually my favorite, and not just because they have Cody's in the trailer. That song is just kind of perfect for the tone that this movie's going for.
It is, and I'm going to be really honest with you. I like John Walker more in this trailer than I did in the entirety of Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Same.
It is kind of ridiculous how much better he is in just these trailers. Now, I get they had him play the part he had to play, but I feel like that they're letting Wyatt Russell, right? Like have more availability to like do stuff. Like I feel like he had to like basically be ramrodded down a certain route, and now he's more able to just be this guy.
Yeah. I like the fact too that he's sort of like his character, like the character of John Walker, sort of just sitting there and going like, hey, isn't that Bucky? Like, you know, like
exactly.
He's so totally like I'm a fan. Like,
yeah, he's one of those people that are kind of realizes they live in a Marvel movie. He's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Good. The fucking, I don't know this. I did not know who Red Guardian was before comics. Does anyone know if he has a fucking battle limo?
Not that I know of.
I'm not even sure.
Because that's
great.
Fantastic. And like, it feels like they genuinely care. This feels like this is in a good way. Mm-hmm. Guardians 2.0.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see it.
Because like you have genuine connections with Red Guardian and Yelena, and Ghost and Taskmaster are kind of off, and then John Walker, who people know about his stuff, where like she can rip on freaking Yelena for being a former Red Room assassin, and he's like I can't remember the exact term. He's just from like basically the Kmart brand Captain America. He's like, I actually was Captain America. I think he's like, yeah, for 2 minutes.
Dollar store Captain America.
Dollar store. That's what it was. But yeah.
Valentina having Avengers Tower or owning Avengers Tower is interesting too.
Mm-hmm. It is cool that
I still don't know what the hell her end game is.
I have a feeling that she's just going to be what Thaddeus was for the Dark Avengers or like the Thunderbolts at first, because like
she strikes me as being so evil, though. There's something evil about her.
Going back on what you said about the Dark Avengers, did you notice that there is a an asterisk next to
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Oh, I know. That's why I said Dark Avengers. That's exactly why I said it.
Okay.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Sure. Oh no, I knew that exactly. It's like there's no other fucking reason why you have that asterisk there, because you're not going to call them Thunderbolts forever, because Thunderbolt Ross is going to be doing whatever after freaking Captain America, a New World or sorry, A Brave New World. So you're not going to have them around. So you're not going to be able to call them the Thunderbolts for forever. But like, are they actually going to call them the Dark Avengers? Are they going to be like, we're the West Coast Avengers because
we're Force baby. 1996 is back.
Yeah, it's like, are they actually going to say Dark Avengers, or are they going to pick one of the other off-brand ones? And then when they actually become like, because half the people on this team aren't evil.
No.
They're just in situations like it's the unbomb planted in their head version of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, pretty much is.
Which I think is kind of cool. It's just genuinely people put in a screwed up situation, which we don't even, here's the thing. We don't even know if they're going to be a group after this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because their main goal is to find fucking Sentry. For those that don't know, that's not a minor situation.
No, it's not.
No matter what personality of his you get.
Oh, by the way, Harrison Ford is going to be in Thunderbolts. He's not like one of the main people. I don't know if like how big of a role he's going to be in, but
I think Harrison Ford is at the point of his career. He's like, fuck it, let's go. You're like, just do everything.
He's been in that point in his career for roughly 25 years.
Oh no, but extra special. I mean, between that and like shrinking, like him and Wendy Malick are like so fucking on point.
I forgot the origin of his power. Which one, bud? Are you talking about Red Hulk?
Oh, Sentry?
Or Sentry? I don't know which one he's talking about. That's the problem with delays. Sentry. Oh dear God.
Sentry. Oh boy.
Oh dear God. Oh, how do you explain this? Shit. Fiona, how do you explain that?
Just look it up on the Marvel Wiki.
I'm trying to Cliff Notes this. Because like he's also got a what is the infinite personality isn't it null or something like that? What the fuck's his alternate personality that's basically just end times but walking around? Okay, so this is the Cliff Notes version. He became Sentry after being mutated by the Golden Sentry Serum, a transformation that made him one of the most powerful heroes, battling a wide range of this and that. I have to remember, what is that other? The Void, that's what it was.
The Void.
Dark destructive entity bonded with Roberts when he became the Sentry. It acts as a counterface of ambient negative aspects. It's a bad time. Yes, he is mentally unstable.
It's a goddamn bad time.
It's a bad time. I'm straight up not having a good time. I'm just straight up not having a good time. But yeah, it's something, and it's kind of one thing that people got kind of weirded out about, where you're sending people and the most superpowered out of all of them is John Walker to fight Sentry.
Yeah, that's not gonna seems like a great idea.
Basically, I wouldn't say it's too far off from power-wise to being a version of Marvel Superman.
Pretty much.
Except with like the split personalities and shit like that, and it's a lot more, like you said, mentally unstable. It's something. He is up there. There's like other versions, like Gladiator's close to being that too, and there's another big one that's really close that I can't think of. But yeah, it was the one thing that a lot of people were iffy about when you were basically sending 6 assassins to go and fight a god.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The fact that in the show that they've only shown him as Bob, and we've seen the Sentry as, so I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so the last one, and this is kind of bittersweet because it's the last season. I honestly think I'm going to miss What If when it's gone.
I'm kind of feeling the same way. And I even said this on
shit crazy.
I said this on Twitter earlier. Like, on the one hand, it does kind of suck that that maybe it's because they're trying to wrap up the whole multiverse thing. But this what if could have gone on for like decades, because the point of this, at least in the comics, was to tell like off-brand stories that you couldn't do in the main continuity.
Yeah, and it's like, it wasn't even that. This was the thing where it was like, it wasn't multiversal. It was literally just, what if blank happened?
Mm-hmm.
And they kept it good enough, and then they just, and I mean, they still kept it separated. It wasn't like any of this stuff leaked into other things, which I was fine with. It's just, they do some really cool shit. Like, I saw them form a Megazord in this trailer.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Storm is the goddamn goddess of thunder.
Yep.
Voiced by the actress who plays her in.
Yeah.
Voiced by Storm. Yeah. The actress who plays Storm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're not going to, this is one of those things where you only get stuff so often in movies. This is the product of where you could have got the cool shit otherwise. Because like, you didn't need to be multiversal to get where What If it was T'Challa instead of Star-Lord, which is still one of the top 3 things Marvel's ever made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one thing I'm grateful for, is that it kind of gave us closure with Chadwick's not, being around anymore, and like closure on like his character, even if it was like a different version of it.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it's and just Jeffrey Wright's performance as the Watcher, and just the animation style looks so freaking cool.
It's definitely gotten better since the first Peggy Carter episode.
Uh-huh.
Oh, definitely.
It was just one of those throwing shit at the wall, and then you actually got to do it. Now, am I going to be upset if we get more quicker seasons of X-Men 97 and now the becoming even more rumored freaking Spider-Man TAS 98? No. I will not be upset if that is a byproduct. But it's still just kind of, I'm going to miss it. In retrospect, I'm going to miss it. Yeah. In retrospect, I will miss it. And it's not saying that they can at some point bring back a single what if for like a Halloween episode or.
I mean, they kind of are of Marvel Zombies.
Well, yeah, that's
true.
That was one that hit so freaking hard when they got it the first time. And yeah, it's going to be nice to have it back for stuff like that. And well, we'll see what they do. What they can do, I guess, is like with Marvel Zombies, which was a thing before they did the what ifs. I wouldn't mind them doing one-off animated versions of a comic book run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to the 3 or 4 episode, like, mini-series format.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that either. But yeah, it'd be interesting. We'll see what they do. Like I said, if we get more X-Men in that increasingly more rumored Spider-Man thing, I'm not going to be upset. All right.
Same.
So I've never wanted to take out a loan more in my life, but Warner Brothers is selling 10 fully functional but not street legal Tumbler Batmobiles from Nolan's Dark Knight films. Each is priced at $3 million. That is shockingly affordable.
Only $3 million.
Only. I'm telling you right now, if I had only $3 million in my bank account, I would be broke and sleeping in a tumbler.
I'm just kind of genuinely curious how they still run, because some of those cars are probably close to 15 years old now.
And yeah, Umbreon, there might even have been more of them, but they're only selling 10 of them. We don't know how many are. There's 10 of them that are fully functional, so there might have been more that were in disrepair. The reason why they're not street legal, I was imagining, is because of how wide they are.
Yeah,
I was going
to say.
In certain states, you can't drive, I believe it's Lamborghinis because of how wide they are. Like in Wisconsin, they're not street legal.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the tumblers are, but I think they are like a modified sports car. Yeah, I know for like the Dark Knight, this is kind of like tangentially unrelated, but they used a Murcielago Lambo for one of the Bruce Wayne scenes, and they used it because Murcielago means bat.
Oh.
Yeah,
clever.
Yeah. Yep. I was kind of like figuring at some point in one of the Aquaman films that we're going to drive a Tiburon. For people that don't know, that's freaking shark in Spanish, if I'm remembering that correctly. But yeah, man, there's going to be a lot of these are going to go to streamers. Like that is the target audience of dumb people with disposable incomes that are going to own one of these fuckers just to have it in the background of a stream room. Which that would be me if I had the room and the money. My stream setup would be in it. He's driving a black tank. That is one of my favorite line reads from any fucking Batman movie ever. He's not on the ground. He's driving across rooftops. Batman Begins, I will fight tooth and nail on anyone, is the best movie of that trilogy. That movie is so well done. God, I love those movies. I gotta get me one of these. Yes, just the Tumblr. That's so good. He's like, do you need to know? He's like, yes. Does it come in black? Fuck, it was so good. Never did get that bridge to work, but these babies work just fine. All right, so I wanted to keep the discussions about Ray's thing just down to Ray for the earlier, because now we're going to talk about the juicy bit of the tidbit with that new announcement. Exclusive. Lucasfilm has closed a deal with Simon Kinberg to develop a trilogy of Star Wars films. Kinberg will write the trio and produce them with Lucasfilm's chief, Kathleen Kennedy.
Why do I feel like I've heard this story like 3 different ways over the last 2 years? New Star Wars trilogy with such and such.
Because they were giving away Star Wars trilogies to people about whatever they wanted. Now they're actually doing a mainline episode version because freaking Knives Out, I can't think of his, Ryan Johnson was going to get his own trilogy about whatever he wanted. And then there was another director, I can't think of their name, was just going to get a trilogy about something. But it's like, okay, I am going to give this guy some credit. I am one of those people that is going to openly say that X-Men Apocalypse is one of the most is one of the most overhated movies on the planet.
I like Apocalypse.
People act like that movie actively shat in their mouths. It is not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No, I mean, people act like it's worse than Dark Phoenix when I talk to them. I'm like, did you watch these fucking films?
It really wasn't.
Honestly, like Kinberg's run on X-Men overall was fine. I kind of feel like, late stage, 20th century Fox and a lot of stuff getting neutered and like mergers happening. Because that's absolutely what killed like Dark Phoenix. Although them not doing it as a trilogy markedly was stupid. But to me, that just seems like more of a studio politics thing.
Some of the action was okay, but I'm never going to forgive Dark Phoenix for how much they fucking wasted Jessica Chastain.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, seriously, that
and
you
also,
don't do that.
For literally ruining the concept of Magneto's helmet for me.
Oh, that Gene can just yoink it off.
Yeah, for all these years, all these comics I've read, all this, everyone's like, Charles, we can't get to Eric. We can't do anything because he has that helmet on. We get to Dark Phoenix and Gene just goes, boop. How?
Yeah.
In all movies, we get Dark Phoenix for them to go, y'all are stupid. We could have done this for 60 years. Just whoop and throw it that way. I'm like,
I mean, it's kind of the same gimmick that they used to do with Juggernaut, except his helmet was bolted on.
exactly. That one made more sense. You had to actually pry the bitch off of him.
Yeah.
And then it started to make me ask questions where, okay, Juggernaut's helmet is pried onto him and all you have is eye holes. So are you telling me that Charles can't access Magneto's brain from the front end of his helmet?
Yeah.
There's a giant gap in front and underneath. Can you only access the brain from the top?
That's the reason why they never did it in the comics until the movie did it. And then the movie was like, no, his helmet protects him from telepathic attacks. And it's like, that's never been the case. But with Juggernaut, yes.
Yeah.
Because, well, he's Juggernaut, and also the helmet's bolted on, and also there's only the eye holes, like you said. The eye holes in the mouth.
Fiona, say it right. He's the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna hit you with your own pimp.
Oh yeah, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah.
I don't know why that was in my head all of last week. Honestly, it was pretty great.
You can shit on X-Men 3 too. There's a lot of bad moments in that movie. But there's some of those moments in that movie that are genuinely awesome.
Yeah, true.
Like Logan's fight with what their version of, I'm assuming they meant to be Spike in the forest, is pretty great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was supposed to be Spike, right?
I believe that's meant to, like, what I'm trying to line up my timelines of when Evolution came
as
out.
Omega Mutant or something, but that was not Omega Red.
Or like
Omega
or Kid Omega? Was that
or
what
was that Kid Omega? Is that the one? No, because it was a different name.
There was also a person they called Psylocke, and her mutant ability was having a purple streak in her fucking hair. Like,
okay, so
oh gosh.
So that's the thing of it is that Psylocke has that power to meld into shadows or something, or they did give her that eventually. But the thing of it was that was never part of her original power set. It was like later on that they decided, like when she had like the Crimson Dawn or something like that.
No, I get that, but it's like, you're going to be a mutant. You're going to be a mutant. You're going to be a mutant.
It
How
was
do we know? How do
weird.
we know she's a mutant? She's got purple streaks in her hair.
She was
They're
hot,
going to
though.
know that's
Give her that.
Psylocke. I didn't know that was Psylocke till I saw the fucking credits.
Yeah, that was weird.
And anyone who's going to say they know that that was Psylocke before the credits is a fucking liar. The grow those back line is fucking great. It is.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fucking good. And
That was
like
such a weird take on everything in that movie. It was just weird.
that's part of their inconsistency with plot lines going forward, because you know why people get confused about certain things, because this was before people paid attention to end credit scenes. At the end of that movie, they talk in the movie how they have a brain dead copy of someone that looks exactly like Charles.
Oh,
Yes.
Jean is looking them over. And then at the end of that movie, you see that Charles is gone and whatever. And then Magneto's gets his powers back. And then all of a sudden they're like, they get to Days of Future Past, or no, what was the end credits scene that had Magneto and
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine? They're like, how is Charles
Japan
alive?
one,
I'm
yeah.
like, the end credit scene. They
end
literally
credit scene of
showed
X-Men
it.
3. Yeah.
They legit showed it. They're like, it had an end credit scene. I'm like,
Cloned body of Charles or whatever it was.
Like, I know that at some point that is an actual plot line in comics. I swore someone explained it to me at some point, but it's like, don't complain about things if they actually show you the plot line in the movie. It may be dumb, but don't act like it didn't get explained.
right.
He did the mind transference, you see.
Exactly.
God, Last Stand, what a strange fucking movie.
It's a very...
Oh, God, I know.
Because, like, man, I will tell you, people like to bitch about characters being butchered in those movies. I still don't think that there's been a single person that got butchered more in those movies than Rogue.
Rogue, yeah, for sure.
I can't believe they wasted Anna Paquin like that.
I know.
Like, her entire plot line was, I want to touch a boy. Am I wrong?
Nope.
And it wasn't even Gambit.
No, it was, which gave me, I was not against the idea of this weird Rogue and Iceman thing, because like they even showed he could cool his lips or whatever to like, it's some like what they do with Magneto with the magnetic fields. I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't know what it's like to have sex with an icicle, but maybe they can make it work. Like but like they were going to have either him be with Shadowcat or Rogue, so either way it was going to be not a normal thing. Which am I wrong, or is it recently Bobby's gay in the comics? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Become a thing?
That's been
Okay.
a thing for at least a decade now.
At least a while, which it's cool. It wasn't going to be a thing there, but like
not in 2006, probably not. No.
And like the stuff with Pyro was kind of just a thing at the end. There was a lot of weird stuff in that movie.
Pyro having that line where he says, I would have killed the professor myself. Like, really?
Like, you're talking to Magneto.
Many chances.
You're talking to Magneto, dude. Like, but they also have really great lines. Like, I don't know how many better lines they've had in a comic book movie, period, just an X-Men movie, where they're like, where's your mark? And he shows it, and he's like, no needle shall ever touch my skin again. I'm like, that's in his stand.
That was
like,
good.
They had really good stuff in there, but it's
not like the worst movie I ever saw, but it was also really just weird.
Also that scene's in that movie. People like to forget it because it's in the start.
Remember how they marketed that with the trailers and everything, making it look like super dark?
Yeah. And then
that's what got me excited. I was like, oh my gosh.
He's in the movie for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He just catches his dad at the end.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
And then he appears at the mansion.
It's just
Kelsey Grammer's Beast was actually a really good casting.
That was AIDS casting.
Yeah. His reading of Oh My Stars and Garters, like perfect.
I feel like The Last Stand is literally like the perfect time capsule of 2006, because I can't think of another more 2006 movie than that.
It is pretty up there.
So yeah, you're so right.
Yeah, it's one of those where I'm never gonna say it was an outright terrible movie,
No.
but it was not an Oscar winner.
No,
Because like you get to see Magneto carrying the Golden Gate Bridge under his own feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Has twinkles. It did have twinkles of greatness. It really, really
Of course,
did.
my favorite my favorite lines in the film are in chess the pawns go first. And then they all go first, and then they all get killed, and he's like, that's why the pawns go first.
And I love how he just had an endless supply. And I understand he transported the Golden Gate Bridge, but he had just an endless supply of not already on fire cars. Pyro was just there to set cars on fire.
The barbecue.
The barbecue, yeah, God. And the one other thing that got wasted that shows it's been wasted the most out of these movies as a concept is the Danger Room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best scene with the Danger Room is in the beginning of that movie.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not have more scenes in the Danger Room, for God's sake?
Like
anyway.
and one of the best jokes in 97 involves the Danger Room when fucking Morph is being a prick and going like, oh, Magneto and Rogue, Magneto and Rogue, Magneto and Rogue, going down the fucking schedule.
You know, the other thing about The Last Stand is the unfortunate affliction of Brett Ratner.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
It is, but it's like we have to remember then who's worse? And I mean this seriously. Brett Ratner.
Oh, God.
Okay, director.
Oh, God.
Bryan Singer.
Oh, God.
Pedophile.
Oh, God.
What do we want?
They're both awful in their own ways.
Their own special
I'm going to be
ways.
honest. I'll take a schlocky film by the guy who hasn't touched children. That's my moral high ground.
I think they touch other things. And then also, I think if I remember interviews correctly, he was being really weird with, I'm pretty sure, then underage Elliot Page.
Oh.
Yeah. We're talking about X-Men Ghost. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like separate the art from whatever. I'll still say that the movies that he did are great, but if I'm going to get another one, I'm like, no, I'll at that point, I'll take Brett Ratner. Is Bryan Singer a better director? Yeah, but I'll take Brett Ratner. I'll hold on that stance. If I'm going to get the Rush Hour of comic book movies, I'll just take Brett Ratner.
I'll take neither for 1,000, Alex.
I'm good. I would take Uwe Boll over over freaking Bryan Singer at this point.
Oh, jeez.
You know what would be really good that we're not talking about? Tommy Wiseau directing an X-Men movie.
They shouldn't be making Air either, Ghost. They shouldn't be making Air, yes. Days of Future Past was amazing, though, but I have to remember that.
Magneto. I didn't hit her. I did not.
I didn't kill the
Hi,
mutants.
Beast.
I did not kill the mutants. I did not. Oh, hey, guy.
Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau is Wolverine.
I kind of want. I want Tommy Wiseau as Professor X. If I'm going to be honest, out of anything, I want Tommy.
You're tearing me apart, Gene.
You're tearing me apart, Magneto. And I want him to have the long hair in the chair. Just refuse to shave.
Yeah.
I want him to be Professor X with flowing locks. No, if we're gonna make this movie, it's not gonna be.
There is at what you do, and you'd be like, ha ha ha, cool story.
Oh, cool. What I do is
that's a funny story, Magneto.
We're gonna be going full on. We're not getting Dave Franco. We're getting Danny DeVito. We're not getting Dave Franco.
Oh, jeez.
Literally.
You know, it'd be great if it was Danny DeVito, but it's like the Wizard of All Study where he's like oiled up and he's like in a trash can, but he's in the chair.
No, I don't want him to just be the trash man.
Oh man.
I just go in the ring and I throw trash everywhere. Trash! Trash!
If Tommy Wiseau directed this, man, we would actually get the X-Men playing baseball or football or something.
You know what I want
catch.
Tommy Wiseau to direct? I want him to be the one to direct a Squirrel Girl movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
That actually might unironically be good. Because I feel like it's like everyone would be on the exact same page.
Or Tommy Wiseau directing Deadpool. That would be about the other one that
Oh, Jesus.
It's wheelhouse.
Oh my God. Oh no.
You Jesus Christ.
No.
All right. Anyways, moving on to the good directors. Ridley Scott, when asked on his thoughts of Quentin Tarantino retiring after his next film, I don't fucking believe that bullshit. Shut up and go make another movie.
Our boy Ridley's had quite a few spicy takes the last few weeks.
Do we want to bring up the fact that he's apparently pro AI, or just bask in the glory of this comment?
We're gonna bask the glory of this comment and about how we might get the end to his trilogy. Apparently, also,
I need to see that.
I need to see that movie because I need to see how he crams the last of it in. Because I'm going to be honest with you, people might not have liked Covenant. Me, as a Christian, watching a movie directed by an atheist make a movie about creationism was fucking weird. Because I didn't know how to process, I don't know if he unintentionally made a very creationist movie out of Alien, but he did. And the cliffhanger at the end of Covenant is awesome. It's genuinely great. For all those people that saw Covenant, it's great. The cliffhanger's fantastic. And
that it is.
You don't need to waste Michael Fassbender on one of the best roles he's ever had. I just need to see how it ties back to finally get that engineer into the space jockey. I just need to see that last step because that's the only thing left. Because now they're being smart in making movies in between movies, like they did with Romulus.
Yeah, that is a smarter decision. I do just want to see him finish that trilogy.
I didn't see this comment.
God damn it! You're gonna be banned from stream.
I'm not the biggest Always Sunny fan because I feel they go way the hell over it in a lot of situations, but the Dennis System episode is fucking great. Okay, but does anyone think that that Quentin's actually going to stop on his 10th movie if he ever fucking makes the thing?
That's the thing. I think he's kind of stalling
on purpose.
Stalling on purpose. And also just I've just been getting really annoyed with Tarantino recently.
I mean, that's one thing. I don't think Scott's wrong saying that he's bullshitting. I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I mean, how else could you interpret that?
Yeah. I do love the boldness of Scott. He doesn't fuck around. But what did he tell who directed Romulus?
Fede Alvarez.
Fede Alvarez. He's like, good luck, Godspeed, don't fuck it up.
Love it.
But yeah, and I'm excited about him possibly making another Alien movie for that exact reason, to just finish it. So you can kind of have the tail end there, and then you can kind of move forward instead of trying to make in-between films to try and make sense of where everything came from. Because there's just that one missing link thing where you can kind of branch it over. But
there is one last point in that article that I wanted to bring up. The very last thing he says, I miss my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. That does suck. Hey, I'm happy that they got Top Gun Maverick made, because that was freaking fantastic. Now, didn't they say that they're trying to work on a Maverick style sequel to freaking, or not even Maverick style, like an actual sequel to Days of Thunder?
Yep.
I just love how when I describe, they're like, "How would you describe Days of Thunder?" I'm like, "Well, did you like Top Gun? Yeah, cool. It's about race cars now." They're like, "It can't be just that." I'm like, "Watch the movie." They come back, "You're right. It is just Top Gun with race cars and a lot more swearing, like a metric ass load of swearing."
Yep.
I forgot how much cursing there was in that thing. But yeah. So I didn't know you guys wanted to talk about Arcane. I don't know what you can actively get into without talking spoilers.
That it's good, and that everyone who was doubting that it would live up is an idiot. And I know they were, because before I fully quit Twitter, I'll get into it a little bit later. People are like, Arcane, you know, like they're like having their doubts. I'm like, first of all, from like the clips they showed in the trailer, I'm like, they're only showing you like the first three episodes or whatever, which I ended up being correct. But let me just say this. Amanda Overton, I respect you. You are a master of your craft. I also absolutely hate you right now. And the thing that makes it like so painful is that in my heart of hearts, I know this is the correct and natural progression of the narrative. And that just makes me like both upset and also like a masochist because I want more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, and I'm right there with you.
Yep.
I did see someone post a comment that is like, "Now, as a public service announcement, many of you are watching Arcane. This does not mean under any circumstances that you do need to play League of Legends. Do not fall into the trap. You will be okay. Please seek help.
Oh no.
Stand this together. Do not fall for it."
No, that's the best thing about Arcane is like I have never had a desire to play League, and I still don't.
No.
It's a good story on its own.
Everything about League is better when it's not the game.
Yep.
It's kind of sad. The music was better, but now they don't have the music anymore because now they refuse to pay artists, so they don't have KDA and all that stuff. And now it's Arcane, which is doing wonders for them, even though checks stats, looks over at other screen. Both seasons of Arcane cost $250 million overall to make, making it the most expensive animated series of all time. The money was well spent.
It was.
Also, the fact that Fortiche is in France, I'm sure they got a lot of subsidies from the French government too.
Yeah.
But if you're wondering why this is the last season of Arcane,
because the story's done.
That price tag is why.
Well, it's the last season of Arcane. They're not going to make it look any worse for whatever they pick for their next storyline.
Oh, no, of course not.
And also, you have to imagine a lot of the $250 million was probably on pre-production and like developing like technologies and stuff.
They've also been working on Arcane for roughly 900 years.
Yeah.
People act like people act like, well, they probably started developing it like 4 years before. No. They've been wanting to make an animated version of the League lore for decades. Because there's a shit ton of it.
No,
in total for 2 seasons.
Well, I mean, I don't think they ever said like it wasn't like a miniseries like event, because eventually like it just had to get to, you know, the main League game like somehow. Because from what I understand is that basically Arcane is the new canon of League, and that the other stuff from years ago is just bullshit now.
It's not really. What it is the stuff in that is that this is a more comics movies.
Mm.
They're not overtly changing shit. They're just taking, this is Leagues. We're not going to rewrite the whole goddamn Bible. but we're going to make a condensed better version for people to watch who don't play League.
How about this? Arcane is the ultimate universe of League of Legends.
No.
No?
No. It's second draft.
Okay.
It's literally
Adaptation.
we had vague ideas here. We've had however many years of actually weaving it together that you're never going to see other than through voice lines. And now it's neatly put together in the final draft through 17 edits now on a TV show. It's literally, we did the good version of it here. Because like in the games, Vi and Caitlyn are a thing. Vi and Jinx are sisters. The werewolf that I can't think of his name.
Warwick?
Warwick never showed you where he came from. And Vander never existed in the games. But now it sounds like Vander's just going to become Warwick. So they're just inventing lore for him. It's just them putting stuff into where they need to be. I think the one thing of like, yes, Warwick, wasn't there like one from the limited amount I've seen of like League gameplay, wasn't there like one vague, like almost throwaway line between like Vi and Warwick where they seem to like know each other or he remembers something? He seems familiar, but he's from that area where she's from. Vander is brand new from Arcane. So it's like, maybe we knew whatever, but it's like, there's other things where like in League, Vi has amnesia and doesn't remember that Jinx is her sister, but Jinx remembers that Vi is her sister. And, you know, so there's stuff like that. It's the same story, just annotated and done better. Yeah, I kind of hope, because people are like, oh, the amnesia is... honest to God, I don't think they're going to do that. Or they really shouldn't.
Don't do that. No.
To me, like, for this specific universe, I don't think it would make sense unless it was, like, for, like, a 10-minute, like, you know, oh, shit, I remember you now. Like, other than that, I'm like, don't fucking do that. And then, yeah, I was about to put that up. Yeah, $250 is honestly kind of, like, normal. And again, I feel like if it was in any other country but France, it would be way more expensive than it is. But again,
like if this was done like in the States, it would probably be like closer to.
Oh, if it was done in the States, it wouldn't happen.
Oh, you know, absolutely not.
Yep.
We are dirt cheap, and it's like, I still think it's a pretty expensive price tag because there's like some TV shows that don't have a budget of multiple millions of dollars an episode. But animation's expensive. Like, oh, I get that, but let's not say that all of a sudden it's cheap at $250 million. No, I mean, I'd say your average network sitcom, like per episode, like your Family Guy or whatever, those are probably like $1 to $3 million an episode for like a 22-minute thing. But the thing is with Arcane is that most of the episodes run over the typical like 24-minute like runtime. Like most of them are 30 to 45 minutes. So.
And also they have licensed music too.
Correct. Which, by the way, I'm not sure if Brock, you listened to it. Did you hear the new version of Heavy as the Crown? I didn't know there was a new version. Yeah. So. No, you go on, Mike.
So there's a like a cinematic version of Heavy as the Crown in the first episode, which is actually titled Heavy as the Crown. Got it. Okay, so I did the math. It's basically $14 million an episode.
I mean, that's about what House. That's about I think what a Game of Thrones House of the Dragon would be. So, and that has a lot of animation and VFX. So that honestly sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Sure, it would seem like a lot more money. Even still, we're trying to downplay how fucking expensive $250 million for 2 seasons of television is. It's not normal.
No.
for an animated TV show. Let's not say that that's normal.
No, yes. Well, that's the whole problem. It should be normal because we're spending the same amount of money on like Marvel movies, and you only get 2.5 hours out of that. I mean, here you're getting like 20 hours of entertainment.
Yeah, but you're getting live action. Like 4 seasons of that. A season of that show goes into the CGI of one movie. We're making everything out of that, which makes it cheaper that you could do more stuff because it's animated and you're not hiring giant name actors.
Except I guess Arcane, because Haley Steinfeld's in the cast.
Well, Haley Steinfeld's in there, but I'm getting like Robert Downey Jr. costing $50 million for a single.
That's insane. I mean, most of the people are in there are working actors. Oh, the funniest thing is I totally forgot that Erica Limbeck voices one of the minor characters in Arcane, who actually this isn't like it's a spoiler but not a spoiler, but comes back in episode 3 of season 2. I'm like, girl, why do you just keep randomly popping up in all these things? I'm like, she's just like random, and it's like, honestly, I'm like, girl, go away. I like you, but this is like almost bordering on intrusive.
Yuri Lowenthal's in that first season too, for a little bit.
Yeah, before he dies, and not season 1, and it's been out for like 3 years. I can say that.
You say that now, but there's going to be a person that doesn't know what character you're talking about was Yuri Lowenthal.
Well, here's the thing. The one that looks like it would be a Yuri Lowenthal character, that's the one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're going to leave the sad one for last. TGI Fridays, the American casual dining chain, is filed for bankruptcy. I have never even seen a TGI Fridays in person myself.
Yeah, Brock, I thought you said we were leaving the sad stuff for last.
Yeah.
I actually have been to TGI Fridays a couple times.
Are you upset?
Not really. I mean, the only thing that TGI Fridays saving grace is like they're like hot like potato skins, but you can also get them like at home. Yeah, the last time I went to TGI Fridays was for like a friend's like birthday party like earlier this year, but it's not something like not my first choice for casual dining. And I think it's just the thing is just like casual dining is just kind of not really a thing in the United States anymore.
Case in point, another chain that closed down recently in my area, Chicago Uno.
We had that. Ours closed down like a while ago, but now it's a Mexican restaurant, and it's actually like a really surprisingly decent Mexican restaurant.
Do they serve edible playing cards? What was Chicago Uno?
It's like a
Chicago deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I literally only ate at the Uno once, and then it closed down like 3 years later, and then it became the Mexican restaurant.
Huh. Gotcha.
They had a reversal.
All right. So we don't have a social media was a mistake this week. We have a social media win, in my opinion, and this should be everywhere. Breaking, Australia is set to ban children under 16 from social media, and ID will be required. That should be everywhere.
Because, and this isn't me being an old fart, like children legitimately don't need to be on the internet. Not on that spot. It's like the edgiest thing I did as like a teenager is like, I was too chicken shit to have a MySpace. Also, I like didn't give a shit, but I went on to fan forums. But with that, like I could, at least, like I didn't say, hi, I'm a 16-year-old girl, but I'm like, I just kind of got lucky. Like my internet situation was, I was in a room of like a lot of responsible adults who respected boundaries. Unfortunately, I kind of feel like I'm a unicorn in that place. Like, and now more than ever, it's so dangerous. And then like when kids are so open, I mean, Mike knows exactly what I'm talking about because we've had situations where minors are in our chat and it's like so weird. I'm like, I mean, I know I know I'm a safe person, but I'm like, you don't know that. I'm like, why are you telling me that to me? Like, it's a lack of common sense that's not being taught in the schools about how to be safe on the internet. And unless, there's legal things, I mean, you're just leaving kids being these vulnerable. And I know some people could take advantage of it, that it's meaning to censor things. But here's the thing. Like, if it's to get like other things on the internet, like, then I would agree with it. But specifically social media, I'm sorry. If you're under 16, you do not need to be there.
No.
Nope. No. No, they do not. I agree 100% because there's no point to it. Are you blogging that you're working on your calculus? What are we doing? You shouldn't be having your, like, I was back in my day. You weren't even allowed to have your fucking cell phone on you in high school. Shit would get taken to the principal's office and your parents would have to come get it at the end of the day. And so we don't need people doing this shit. We really don't.
No.
But yeah, it's just, I saw that and I'm like, you're strict, Australia, on certain things, but I'm going to be okay with that one. All right. Now, this announcement was really bittersweet, and it's just, I understand that 69 is not a young age, but it's also not a considerably old age. Tony Todd passed away over the weekend, and it really sucked on, I would say not specifically for me, but it's like, it was on almost the exact, I'm scrolling on the side here to try and get this ready. It was almost exactly a year after I met him. He might have been one of the most cordial and kind individuals I've seen in my entire life. Like, he sat there, talked with me about whatever the fact, like, thought it was the coolest thing that he was voicing Venom and that my name was Brock. Like, just thought that was so cool. And like, he sat there and talked about how he used to be, like, his old job was being a head of a crew for people that snow blowed like roads during the city. Like, it's just a down to earth dude that understood that what he did was really cool and that he got lucky in his situation, and just, he was just an awesome guy.
He was.
I just honestly, like, the news caught me like completely like off guard.
Yeah, like I said, he was 69, give or take. I know that's a life that he lived, but
oh, and everyone making jokes about the age that he died. Fuck you.
Fuck off. No, I don't need to be hearing that. But like, I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything in specific from him. Like, just as recent as his voice work as Venom was just insane. Obviously, Candyman.
Candyman.
Yeah, he was
Darkseid in the DC animated movies.
Yeah, in the recent ones, like the new 52-ish stuff that they did. Yeah, he was Darkseid.
That's right.
He did freaking awesome.
He was also a Zoom in The Flash.
Yes. He was in an episode of X-Files, I remember, back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Gotta look up his IMDb.
Which was perfect.
And that reminds me, like, I watched a little bit of X-Files, but I really got to do like a rewatch of that one of these days.
Yeah, it is a great show. God, it was a bitch. God, man. He's been in so much stuff. That's right. That's what I was remembering now. He was also did voice work in Dota Dragon's Blood. He was freaking insane in that.
Oh, that's
I remember Tony, I remember Yuri talking about that was the first time that he ever worked with him. That's right. He was in the Orville. Good Lord. everything he did, he was great in.
It was so great.
Justice. Oh, right. That's right. He was the voice of Icon in Young Justice.
Oh,
shit.
man.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh, yeah. I remember him now in Final Destination. He was in the 5th one.
Oh,
Gosh,
yeah.
I forgot about that. I didn't know he voiced Blade in a Marvel. He voiced Blade and Surtur in a Marvel video game. I did not know that. That's a wide range.
Which game?
Marvel's Superhero Squad Online.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Marvel Superhero Squad. You know, the fact that that show is like 15 years old now is like actually kind of horrifying. So is like Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
He was in Half-Life?
Really?
He was in Half-Life 2, Episode 2. I did not know he was in Half-Life. What the hell? God, he's been in so much. That's right, he was in Voyager. He was oh my God, that's the movie I was trying to think of. He was in The Rock.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was. You're right.
That's what I was trying to think of. I'm like, I know he was in a bigger movie because I watched it somewhat recently. It's like,
so good. So good.
let's go home and fuck the prom queen. She was the prom queen. God, he just too cool of a dude. He's gonna be missed. My God, he's gonna.
Yeah.
He was just
Didn't he
awesome.
have the line in that movie where he just yells at Harris and says, "I want my fucking money, General."
Yes. Yes. He's one of those guys you probably didn't know his name, but recognize a lot of his work. He is one of those guys where he just, you can't replicate the voice work that man did.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just can't.
He's the best.
He did the Venom voice for me in front of me, and the man didn't even twitch. There was no,
Damn.
it was just there. There was no practice. There was no warm up. It was just boom. And I'm like, holy fuck. It was so terrifying.
Definitely a one-of-a-kind talent.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing is we've lost a lot of like really great voices lately.
Yeah.
Like
him
Lance
and like
Reddick, James Earl Jones.
Ken Page.
We're like a few days off the 2-year anniversary of losing Kevin Conroy.
Kevin, yeah. Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Which that was one cool thing that I mentioned from the con that I got to do. Will Friedle was at the con that I went to this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I got to talk to him a little bit about the great experience that I had with Kevin. And he's like, that's what that dude was at every moment of his life. He's just like, he's like, there's never a day I don't miss that man. And there never will be a day I don't miss that man.
Same.
Fuck. That's one thing I will say. Will Friedle does not get enough credit. He was really fucking good as Terry McGinnis.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Like that line read alone in that first, I want to say it's the first episode. It's either the first or the second episode where he's on that boat with Blight and he's having a fight with that one henchman. He's like, you're pretty good for some punk who thinks he's Batman.
I George Takei, by the way.
But
George Takei, who voiced the henchman guy.
That line was so good.
For some clown who thinks he's Batman.
That was so good. And then the bit where he's voice acting against Mark Hamill as the Joker in the Joker's Revenge, where he's like, the old man never talked to you a whole lot, huh? And he's just making the Joker lose his fucking shit. I'm like, I love it. So good. It's the fucking best. He's like, wait, I could talk too.
Mark Hamill's performance in that too is one of the best.
Yeah.
It is.
It's so great. The way he kind of gives him a more malicious edge in that, which is kind of awesome.
That people don't know, find yourself a version of the VHS of that where you get to see the
I've seen it. Yeah.
Of how Tim Drake kills Joker. Because they pretty it up a little. Version. Yeah, because they pretty it up a little.
The uncut version is one that I watch like pretty much every opportunity.
That torturing of Tim Drake is fucked.
It's brutal.
People don't like to talk about how dark that is. Like,
Oh, it's
that-
super dark. Yeah.
that was one thing that you're never going to get a version of a comic book just like run of a cinematic universe like you did with that like the Dini Andrea
Mhm.
Romano
Yeah.
oh what's his name,
Bruce Timm.
You're just
Bruce Timm,
that magic is never coming together again.
No.
Alan Burnett, Eric Radomski.
God, it's just a fucking powerhouse team that put all that shit together. But
Yeah, true.
yeah. But anyways, so the last thing that I had was a casting call, and since we're just talking about him, it was if you could put him in anything in live action as a comic book, since he's voiced roles, obviously, what would you put Tony in?
Ooh, that is tough.
Man, we've talked about many things, but if they ever get a actual honest to God version of Mephisto or Blackheart,
Oh yeah,
That would
Yeah.
have been perfect.
absolutely. I was thinking of somebody like a live action Dark Side. He would have.
yeah, or like
I mean, he voiced it. So
any version of like Blade, a good chunk of Blade villains, Tim Daly. Oh God, yeah, like if we would have got that fucking Blade movie off the ground in time, I wouldn't have minded him being Whistler.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That could have been kind of cool. Or like any of the supernatural entities, like the voice of Galactus.
yes,
That would have been amazing.
Oh, God.
Like we're encroaching in on that. Like I know that's obviously been casted already because he appears in the movie, but if I somehow mind melded that might have happened, it didn't. I'm just saying it now. But yeah, that would have been good. Shit. Who else could he have been? He could have been Mal Boja if they ever got that fucking Spawn movie off the ground.
Mm.
What else? Could have obviously been a voice for a Transformer. I don't think he did anything in those Bay movies.
No, it's not. No, he was the voice of the Fallen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Was he?
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah, he was.
I swear to God, there was someone else, but I guess I'm just remembering it. Oh yeah, son of a bitch, he was. I did not remember that he did that. I thought it was someone else. I have to bring something up that I did not realize happened in those movies.
what?
A couple of months ago in Madison, I got to meet Tom Kenny. And I'm looking across this table and I'm like, wow, he did some roles that I didn't know he did. And then like some live action stuff, we're going through this. And then I spot that little fucking monster truck transformer that like falls madly in love with Megan Fox. Wheelie?
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, there's no way. And then I'm remembering the voice. I'm like, how did I not realize that was Tom Kenny?
Well, I don't think he was going to do merch or stuff of like the other character.
But it's like
he was in that movie.
Well, that wasn't in that movie either. That was a couple of movies later. The super racist.
No, that was the same movie.
No, I know, but he did another version of that with more super racist comments later on.
Right. See, I kind of tapped out more after 2 because I was like, this is peak. This isn't getting beaten. I'm good.
Yeah, it's God. Yeah, that was man. I forgot that he was in that. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go and rewatch that now. I do not remember that being his voice, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now. Huh. But yeah, no, that was unless anybody's got anything else, that's really all that I had. You really don't. No, that's one of those things. I'm going to be really honest. I'm not going to say they're masterpieces, but I'm finding out over time that I'm not going to say that I loved them, but I don't think I hate those first 3 Transformers movies as much as I think I did. One is genuinely great.
Oh yeah, one's a great movie.
I could deal without Bumblebee pissing on John Turturro, but the rest that like Revenge of the Fallen has some really great moments in it. Again,
the first 5 minutes are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Revenge of the Fallen. I don't think I've ever laughed harder in a theater because I was at an opening weekend IMAX showing, and I don't feel like I would probably ever feel something like that again.
X-Nay giant testicles. That was it was good. And then like 3 had some problems, but the fucking fights in 3
amazing
are off the charts. 4 and 5 are garbage. There's never going to be a day where I try and defend 4 and 5. Now, what was the one that had Sideswipe for one fucking movie? Was that 3?
I don't remember.
Because that was one of the best designs they ever did for a Transformer ever. Like the roller skating, like legs where he like side that was fantastic. Like, but 2 on was when they started soft rebooting the movies every time in a weird way, just kind of forgetting a little bit of what happened before. And then magically the government was mad at them in one movie and magically they weren't in the next one. And but I don't care about Optimus because those are basically just fan service for him. Then that's Sideswipers in 2, but I'm not exactly sure how I don't feel exactly that same way on Brian because he doesn't get as many fights in that, so I wouldn't exactly say it was fan service, but that's just me. But like him, it a bit about epitomizes the point of how you could get away with grotesque violence as long as there's no blood.
Oh,
like when he rips freaking Megatron. Well, Retinal doesn't he with Sentinel Prime also, but the fight with Megatron at the end of that too, where he rips his head clean out and you see spinal cord and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's cyborg juice and motor oil. It's fine. Gosh dang it. Because like when Ironhide, who was like one of my favorite Transformers throughout those first 3 films, just gets blown away in the freaking like first third of that last movie. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we don't need to start 4 and 5 where they just had drunk Merlin. Imagining stuff going on. My favorite scene, and I want to. Oh, what's not the last one? The second to last one where they get the Dinobots. Is it last?
Age of Extinction.
Age of Extinction. I think that was the one where Merlin goes off and finds the fucking Dinobots in his cave when he's drunk because he never knew magic. He was just a drunkard that lied about it. And then you use Transformers to try and make it look like he showed magic. And that's when they started losing the plot of when Transformers got there. Because they say in the first movie that he shows up when he shows up in 2000. And then in 4, they show Bumblebee fighting Nazis. But anyway, Merlin was only in 5. You care more about the continuity of those films more than I do. But either way, there's this scene where they're showing him where they're showing this battle of these people fighting in a valley. And I kid you not, I had to rewatch it just to see how dumb this looked. Like 40 feet in front of them is this fight happening, and King Arthur and all of his knights are just over a hill watching as if they don't know they're there. And they're talking about, stay back, men. We have the element of surprise. We need to wait for the right moment to attack. They can see you. They're not blind. There's no tree coverage. They can see you. What are we doing?
You know, most of the things I know about the later Transformers movies, I think it was a review with like Lindsay Ellis and then Andre, the just nerd on YouTube. They did like a whole recap of the Transformers movie, and and they're going with like drunk Merlin and everything, and I'm like, this is not a real movie, but I'm like enthused by all this. I don't want to see it, but I'm enthused by it.
Merlin was a knight, stayer later understands a Merlin as knight to Cybertron. He was played by Stanley Tucci and Umbreon. He was in 4. It literally says Age of Extinction.
Different character.
No, it says he played Merlin. Like I'm looking at the IMDb and the picture of him in the movie right now. He is Merlin.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Stanley Tucci do 2 roles?
Yeah,
he did. He played 2 different people.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, he plays 2 separates. His first appearance is in The Last Night, and his last appearance is in The Last Night. So he played him in. Oh, Merlin was played by Stanley Tucci. He was also played as, he was played by Joshua Joyce in Age of Extinction. And then he was played by Stanley Tucci in another, they've got multiple things going on there. But anyway.
Why is Merlin with Transformers? I don't understand.
The guy's name was actually Merlin. No, I'm talking about the actual dude Merlin. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, that guy's name was Merlin.
No, he was the King Arthur Merlin. And he was drunk. And he was friends of Transformers.
Do you remember the John Schnepp rant about Transformers?
Yes.
There's few people that know how to speak in gibberish quite as good as John Schnepp. I miss that man every day. Like, same. I'm not saying that I would have wanted him to watch The Flash, but actually letting him know that and letting him see that that Nicolas Cage's Superman like actually made it onto a big screen for 2 seconds, even if it was in that trash fire. That would have been kind of nice, but King already had his low points, at his low times. Yeah, you're not wrong. All right. Yeah, let's get on out of here. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You guys can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. You can do all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You escape, so do we.
Free.
So, as I elaborated earlier, my Twitter account still exists, technically. I will not be there. So you can follow me at crazylemur.bsky.social. I'm also getting more active on Instagram. That is Lemur's Rule 1. Super busy with stuff. I exist on the internet.
Kiana.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Neoplasmic. Also, still on Twitter, Neoplasmic24, and Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81.
You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. I do use my Instagram whenever I am doing cosplay stuff. So a couple of times a year, I'll be active on my Instagram. But other than that, it's mainly Twitch and YouTube. I will be going back to streaming tomorrow and then finishing up Life is Strange and then finally cracking open my PS5 Pro to start the remaster of Horizon and then playing through that. So that'll be later this week. And then finally finishing up Arcane because I haven't got a chance to watch it because I was at a con all weekend. Yeah, but I had at this con, I had like episode accurate, like from that trailer of showing Vi in the fight pit, accurate versions of Vi walking around the con already.
Oh,
just like y'all are ridiculous. But all right.
Farrell, and I love you all.
Yes. Until next time, we will see you all later.
All right. Peace.